Derek Banks, known worldwide as the Chicago rapper Lil Durk, finds himself in a serious legal situation. As of early June 2025, the acclaimed artist remains incarcerated. He is awaiting trial on grave federal charges, a stark contrast to his recent career highs. His supporters and legal team are working tirelessly, hoping for a breakthrough that might secure his release before his scheduled trial date. The situation is complex, with significant legal hurdles to overcome. The rapper's future hangs precariously in the balance, dependent on the intricate workings of the justice system and the arguments presented by both sides in this high-stakes legal drama. The core of Lil Durk's current predicament stems from very serious accusations. He faces federal charges including conspiracy and murder for hire. These charges are connected to a violent incident that occurred in 2022. The legal proceedings have been ongoing, with various motions and hearings shaping the path towards a potential trial. The gravity of these charges cannot be overstated, as a conviction could lead to devastating consequences for the artist, potentially including a life sentence. His fans are watching closely, hoping for a positive outcome, but the legal path ahead is undeniably challenging for the Chicago native. The ongoing detention of Lil Durk has significant implications, not just for his personal liberty, but also for his music career. Being behind bars prevents him from recording new music, performing for his large fan base, and engaging in promotional activities that are vital for any artist of his stature. This forced hiatus comes at a time when his career had been reaching new peaks. The uncertainty of his release further complicates any long-term planning for his musical endeavors and business ventures. Every day spent in jail is a day lost for his professional life, adding another layer of pressure to his legal battle. This legal turmoil unfolds against the backdrop of significant professional success. In February 2024, Lil Durk achieved a major milestone, winning a Grammy Award for Best Melodic Rap Performance for his collaboration All My Life with J. Cole. This award solidified his position as a prominent figure in the music industry. However, this triumph is now overshadowed by the looming trial and his current incarceration. The contrast between his artistic achievements and his present legal troubles highlights the precarious nature of fame when faced with serious criminal allegations. The outcome of this case will undoubtedly define the next chapter of his life. The federal charges levied against Lil Durk are extensive and carry severe penalties. He is formally accused of 1 count of conspiracy. Additionally, he faces 1 count of use of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death. A further charge includes using, carrying and discharging firearms and a machine gun, and possession of such firearms in furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. These charges specifically relate to a 2022 attack targeting rival rapper Quando Rondo, also known as Tyquan Bowman. This attack tragically resulted in the death of Quando Rondo's cousin, Saviaya Lul Pab Robinson, also referred to in reports as Another Man. The potential consequences if Lil Durk is convicted on these charges are dire. The federal statutes under which he is charged, particularly those related to murder for hire and the use of firearms resulting in death, can lead to a sentence of life in prison. This possibility underscores the seriousness of the legal battle he is currently facing. The prosecution is building a case that aims to prove his involvement beyond a reasonable doubt. The weight of these potential outcomes places immense pressure on his defense team to counter the government's allegations effectively and secure a favorable result, or at the very least, pre-trial release for the rapper. Further complicating the legal landscape, a superseding indictment introduced an additional charge against the Chicago artist. This new charge is for stalking resulting in death, adding another layer to the already complex case. The government's decision to add this charge suggests an evolving prosecutorial strategy, possibly based on new evidence or a re-evaluation of existing information. Each additional charge potentially strengthens the prosecution's hand and increases the complexity of the defense required. The defense must now address this expanded set of accusations as they prepare for the upcoming legal battles and continue to argue for his release. Interestingly, the indictment has seen some revisions. Initially, prosecutors included lyrics from Lil Durk's song Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. They alleged these lyrics referenced the shooting involving Quando Rondo. Allegations about a bounty payment were also part of the early indictment. However, these specific elements were later removed. This removal occurred after Lil Durk's defense team pointed out a critical chronological inconsistency. The song in question was written and recorded a full 7 months before the 2022 incident took place, making a direct lyrical connection to the event highly improbable. This development was a notable point for the defense. Lil Durk's defense team, spearheaded by prominent attorney Drew Findling, has been actively challenging the prosecution's case. A key argument from the defense is that the government is relying on a watered-down new indictment. This assertion came particularly after the aforementioned lyrics and bounty payment allegations were removed from the case. Findling has characterized the remaining allegations as a weak patchwork of unsupported and non-specific allegations. The defense contends that the government has not adequately demonstrated that Lil Durk poses a danger to the public or that he is a flight risk, which are crucial factors in determining pre-trial detention. In a significant move to secure his pre-trial release, Lil Durk's legal team has proposed a substantial bond package. The rapper is willing to put up a total of $4.5 million. This impressive sum includes $3 million of his personal funds. His record label, Alamo Records, has committed $1 million to the package. Another business partner is prepared to contribute $500,000. Furthermore, an estimated $700,000 in real estate equity would be leveraged. Alongside this financial commitment, the defense has proposed that Durk undergo 24/7 home confinement, complete with rigorous security monitoring, to assure the court of his compliance. One issue raised by the prosecution to oppose bail was an alleged violation of jail rules. Specifically, Lil Durk was accused of using other inmates' phone accounts and engaging in three-way calls. However, attorney Drew Findling has dismissed this jail phone violation. He characterized it as a common and relatively insignificant occurrence within correctional facilities. Findling emphasized that the calls in question involved personal communications with his family. Crucially, he argued that these calls did not involve any criminal activity or attempts to obstruct justice, framing it as a minor infraction rather than indicative of dangerous behavior. Most recently, as of early June 2025, Lil Durk's defense team has taken further steps to undermine the prosecution's case for detention. They filed a motion specifically questioning the credibility of a key FBI informant, identified as CHS-1. The defense alleges that this informant is a former gang member with a significant criminal history. They argue that this individual might be misleading federal investigators. The core of this argument is that the informant could be providing false information precisely to prevent Lil Durk from being granted bond, potentially for personal gain or other ulterior motives not yet fully revealed. Despite the defense's efforts, the prosecution has successfully argued against Lil Durk's release so far. On May 8, 2025, U.S. Magistrate Judge Patricia Donahue denied Lil Durk's request for jail release. The judge's decision was heavily influenced by a report detailing alleged jail rule violations. This report indicated that Durk had improperly used other inmates' phone accounts. He also reportedly engaged in three-way calls, which are typically prohibited. Judge Donahue cited these actions as demonstrating a disrespect for the rules, suggesting he might not adhere to bond conditions if released from custody. During the May 2025 hearing, prosecutors strongly contended that Lil Durk's behavior while incarcerated was a key reason to keep him detained. Assistant U.S. Attorney Ian Ianiello stated that the rapper's conduct, specifically the phone violations, was the central issue, not his music or lyrics. Prosecutors argued that his use of other inmates' phone minutes demonstrated a pattern of rule-breaking. Ianiello further asserted that Banks had not presented sufficiently new information or compelling arguments that would undermine the court's original decision to detain him pending trial, thus reinforcing their stance against granting bail. Beyond the jail rule violations, federal prosecutors have presented even more serious, albeit uncharged, allegations in court to argue against his release. During the May 2025 proceedings, they linked Banks to a second murder, this one occurring in Chicago. Furthermore, they accused him of putting out bounties for other killings. One of these alleged bounties reportedly targeted a family member of an individual who is a witness in the case. These grave accusations, even if not part of the formal indictment, paint a picture of potential danger that prosecutors use to argue against his release on bond. The trial for Lil Durk is currently set for October 14, 2025. Unless his legal team succeeds in their ongoing efforts to secure bond, he will remain in jail until that date. The defense attorney, Drew Findling, had planned to appeal the May 8 bail denial to District Judge Michael Fitzgerald, and recent motions indicate this fight continues. The prolonged incarceration and the serious nature of the charges cast a long shadow over Lil Durk's future and his vibrant music career. The outcome of these legal proceedings will undoubtedly be a defining moment in his life, with lasting repercussions regardless of the verdict.